And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas,
where we talk about all your favorite Halloween sitcoms.
Woo! It is spooky season up in this bitch, and we are so ready. And we're getting even more ready by watching all of our favorite Halloween sitcom eps.
And today we're joined by our friend Jenna here. You gotta do the thing. What's the thing? Do the thing.
I forgot to do the thing.
All right, say it. Say it now.
In the wise words of Bodies, 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 today's episode is a podcast about hanging out with your smartest and funniest friends. So we're joined by Jenna.
Oh my gosh, I'm honored. Oh my gosh. Okay, smartest and funniest. I'm here for it.
Yep. We've never said that before.
You're lying. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure you fall into one of those, I think.
You know what?
Jason Seaman got smartest. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I will allow that. I've met the kid.
Yeah.
I've met the kid. He has me
pretty
beat.
Smart.
Okay.
Well, like we said today, we're reviewing some sitcom eps. We're going to talk about How I Met Your Mother, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Community. Before we get into that, let's kind of gauge where you're at with the Halloween vibes. Do you like scary shit?
Hate it.
Perfect.
Would rather die than have to watch a scary movie, which is why I'm so grateful to be here for the sitcom.
Yes.
One,
exactly.
Not the terrifying horror movies. Like, no, thank you.
We were talking beforehand because of that. We're going to bring you back for something scary, like we do to Preston.
We'll see. We'll see.
We made Preston, who hates horror movies, watch Skinamarink, which I thought was the scariest movie I've ever seen, and he made it. Him and I both were... Because it was funny.
Preston, he tolerated it. I also make everyone dinner and then
I'll do it for booze and dinner. And then you have me set.
Yeah, pretty much that's what we offer everybody. So it works out.
You know what? Just make me a little special. Just some.
Yeah, I'll get you special booze. I'll make a better drink than normal.
Okay, thank you. I feel appreciated.
So what's your favorite part of Halloween?
Okay, well, I'm going to have to say, because I'm not a Halloween gal.
She's not spooky.
Not spooky. No spooky vibes here. It would be the drinking, because it gives you an excuse.
It's a great excuse.
That is
truly.
That's like half of the battle with Halloween anyway. Exactly. I love Halloween for a lot of reasons, but that's a critical element is
of what makes Halloween good.
Having multiple parties, having multiple costumes, and then just getting turned.
And also, the more you drink, you have a justification because it's so you can go out in skimpy little outfits and not feel cold.
Yes. That's kind of why I when I go out, that's part of half the drinking anyway.
Exactly. You get a little
this outfit's really cute, but I don't want to bring a jacket.
Yeah. So I'm going to drink. Yeah. I have to make up for it.
Yeah, I have to have my drunk coat. Okay. So it works out.
You got it.
I think one of these episodes captures those vibes really, really, really well. Mm-hmm. I'm thrilled.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, we decided we're going to go specifically Halloween episodes that aren't really scary, but cover what Halloween feels like. Yeah. And that's really the vibes we went for with all of these episodes. Because we love Halloween.
Yes. What are your favorite sitcoms?
Okay, so un-Halloween related, probably The Office, Basic White Girl. I know.
Same.
I know.
Same.
And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I thought I was a little saucy with that one, but then I was rudely told every basic white bitch loves that one too. And then, my good little Parks and Rec and New Girl. You know? They're just a vibe.
Yeah.
You've hit all the major ones, yeah.
Yeah. No, Community, Arrested Development.
Okay, never seen Arrested Development.
Always Sunny. Arrested Development.
I thought we were talking about all the basic ones.
Good. Oh, the basic.
Okay. Okay, Matthew.
Yeah, she probably did. But, no, Arrested Development is really dry, but it's really funny. And it has the, How I Met Your Mother thing where there's reoccurring bits that last a really long time.
That I can get down
but
with.
It's tied together better. And, they actually remember what they said, they set up in season 1. But you can only watch seasons 1 through 3 because after that, the show got canceled, and then seasons 4 and 5 is when Netflix brought it back, and they're horrible.
Oh, God.
So message to everyone at home.
Good to know.
Arrested Development, seasons 1 through 3 are some of the best television ever. Comedy television, I will amend. But after that, sucks dick, and you should stop.
On it. Don't ask me why, but I always get Arrested Development and Reno 911. I put those together. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Very different, but I've heard Reno 911 is really funny, and I've never gotten around to it.
My parents used to make me watch that, but I couldn't watch the other stuff I was telling you guys about.
That's funny.
Make it make sense.
Doesn't
no Scooby-Doo for you?
No, Scooby-Doo.
Maybe that's why I said we should have you do like a Potter list, but Jenna watching Scooby-Doo for the first time ever in her life.
I would love that.
Go through everyone, see if you can solve the mysteries.
Okay. Little kids doing dogs.
Yeah.
So I can, dogs. Right? I hope.
Yeah, you like big dogs. Scooby-Doo's a great Dane.
My heart.
I love him. I also love how fucked up he is in the live action movies. It brings me so much joy how bad he looks. Have you seen what he looks like in that?
No.
We'll show you another time. So it's a CGI mess, but it's fun.
Ooh.
It's thrilling.
Here for it.
Well, all right. So
first, we are going to talk about How I Met Your Mother. I was
which
trying
is the
to find
show.
A photo of Scooby-Doo, but I was typing and the typing was going to get too loud, so I really will have to do that later. Okay, but yeah, How I Met Your Mother, obviously no longer running. Only one of the 3 shows we're covering is running still, but we're covering the Slutty Pumpkin episode from season 1, episode 6. So, brief plot synopsis. Marshall and Lily are excited to participate in the couples costume competition at their usual bar. On the other hand, Robin's refusal to dress in a couple's costume with her boyfriend puts stress on their new relationship. Meanwhile, Ted makes his annual visit to the rooftop Halloween party in search of a girl that he met 4 years ago, that he has dubbed the Slutty Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit about all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite parts of this episode?
Yeah, when Barney went up to a girl and said, what does a guy got to do to get laid around here?
Okay, to add context, she was dressed as like a luau girl. Like she
And it didn't work. And I said immediately, I was like, wait, this totally would play. That was the funniest shit. And I thought it was so funny, and she was not about it.
So everyone at home, please comment if that would work for you.
I think maybe it's more of, it wouldn't have worked then, but in today's dating world, because...
And that just shows how low the bar
is.
We're like, that's the one.
But
we also haven't dated in 10 years.
That's true. But I'm going to say that to me, that is such a funny, like, insane pickup line that I feel like it would work. It's not like...
I feel like...
It's not creepy. It's
it could be endearing if, like, it was said by the right person.
Yeah.
For sure, but that's half of hitting on someone anyway.
Yeah, you can't follow it up with anything Barney says or does, but
if
you followed it up just like totally taking the conversation away from banging and just had like a normal conversation.
Yeah, well, it's great.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a good setup.
Okay.
Like if you show yourself as like a nice guy after and not just like a horny
Like
asshole.
If my crush said that to me, I think I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Can do this.
All right, but that was my favorite part. So... What was your favorite part, Hannah?
I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with the Marshall and Lily and their obsession with Halloween because that is Matt and I. So I feel like this episode really brought out, like, reminded me of our dynamic as a couple when it comes to this holiday and, like, how seriously we take this, like, nonsense. Except it's not nonsense in this house. It's very important. Like, the amount of money we spent just today alone
on
planning Halloween costumes was ridiculous. Like, kind of problematically insane.
Well, for everyone out there, we're having a Robert Pattinson themed Halloween party, and I will be going as Good Time Rob, or whatever his character's name is in that movie. And Hannah, what are you going as?
I'm gonna be Bella, but I still have to get my red contacts because I'm gonna do newborn Bella.
And she's gonna have a baby. So
I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm gonna put the original Renesmee face, like the Chuck Esme, the fucked up one. I'm gonna tape that on a baby doll. And I'm gonna like use highlighter all over my face to be sparkly, and then where highlighter would go, like on your cheekbones and shit, I'm gonna use like actual sparkle makeup.
I love that.
It's like I'll be outside as a newborn vampire with my fucked up baby.
No couples costume for us this year. However, we're both going as different characters from Robert Pattinson movies, so we'll take it.
Our last couple's costume, funny enough, was Mac and Dennis from Always Sunny. Oh my god. I can't even imagine that. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
And then before that, our last couple's costume was Jurassic Park.
Huey and Starlight.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
right.
True.
But sorry, we're off topic.
From The Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to be the main character for that one. So I was the superhero, and he was just the guy.
Good.
Yeah.
As it should be.
I agree.
Well, all right. I got us off topic.
Yes.
So that was your favorite part. I agree that that's something I felt relatable And Jenna, what was your favorite part of it?
It might be bad that it's not the whole like Halloween related, but it was like dissing on Robin because let me tell you, this girl just did not like as a fellow non-Halloweener, if I am invited somewhere, I'm going to play the part. I will dress up, I will engage in the activities, but Robin, what a little Debbie Downer. Like, no, thank you. She couldn't even put on like a half-ass costume.
The idea
for her man.
Going to a bar on Halloween and wearing normal ass clothes is like...
don't you feel out of place?
Yeah. Right. I can't even fathom
she sucks.
Concept.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think that's what this episode really tells us is that Robin does and always will suck.
And then shitting on poor Marshall and Lily. Like, the nerve.
Yeah. Like, they're just nerdy little couple that love their Halloween and they take their costume seriously. And yeah, I think that's why I take it extra personally.
You're like, excuse me?
Yeah, that she judges them so hard. I'm like, that is me and I will not allow this. I am cool.
Well, all that being said, can I be critical of this episode?
Sure.
It's not a good representation of Halloween. It's like a half-assed Halloween episode. They said we got our own agenda for what we got to do with the How I Met Your Mother crew that like, this is real prestige storytelling that they have there.
I don't think they're trying to...
I'm being sarcastic. That's what I'm saying is like they couldn't even drop their other bullshit for a little bit just to do an actual Halloween episode. No, we got to have Ted being hopeless romantic. We got to have Robin being annoying, and then at least we get Lily and Marshall being cute. But like, this is like the most sterile Halloween party I've ever seen.
True. The Halloween party itself is a really poor representation. That part is bad.
This is New York City at a bar.
Yeah, it should be a fucking
They were done
rager.
at what, like 2:45? It's like no.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not New York City.
That's what I'm saying. Like these people, these are the most white toast group of friends I've ever seen. Apparently.
But,
except for Barney, who wanted to go to the Victoria's Secret party. He was in the right, as he always is.
Oh my God, not always.
Barney and Marshall, they're my men.
Me too. Love them. What opposites they are.
I know, they are complete opposites.
I did kind of marry, in some ways, a Marshall, because Matt, there's a scene where Marshall...
You should take that as the highest honor.
There's a scene where Barney's shitting on Marshall for, like, dropping an empanada and then picking it up and continuing to eat it.
I remember that one.
Boy.
And Matt did that with an ice cream sandwich once under the L.
It wasn't under the L.
Yes, it was.
It was on the way back from the L.
It was on Matt.
Oh my gosh.
Because Norton yanked you really hard and you dropped your ice cream sandwich.
It wasn't like at the stop. That's a gross spot. It was still, it might have been
Matt,
on the
the Philadelphia streets.
I ate it, yeah. I didn't eat the whole thing.
It's the Philadelphia streets,
it a little.
my guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, you just marshaled it. And that is something in that episode that like Barney is holding against like Marshall. Like it's a secret. Marshall doesn't want to come out and he just did it.
Yeah.
So openly.
He was like, sure. And I'll record it too.
I didn't want to forget. I didn't want to. Yeah.
To be fair, those ice cream sandwiches are kind of pricey.
They were expensive and they were good.
If you're in Philadelphia area, Wackerly is very good.
Wait, right down Gerard.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. There's a South Street one too. But anyway, yes. I understand what you're saying, but I do think there are certain elements of the episode that have really good Halloween vibes. Like, again, we are Lily and Marshall. I also think that, like, the Hansel costume, him showing up in costume, I was like, that would be Matt or I. Like, if we were dating someone who didn't like Halloween, we would not have understood the sarcasm. We would have showed up in a costume.
That was Mike Robbins' boyfriend and ex-boyfriend by the end of the episode.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think she deserved that.
Oh, for sure.
And
she deserves not to have friends.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's not a very good friend.
Yeah.
I'm so mean. I'm sorry. I barely watched that show. That was not one of my sitcoms I watched as much as a kid. I was a Big Bang Theory kind of guy.
Big Bang too. What? Big Bang too.
They have a good Halloween episode. My mom and I used to watch it. It was fun.
Aww. I think that one.
We watched that.
So not fun.
Mike and Molly, Two Broke Girls, and one other show. And it was the Monday night slot. We would watch 2 hours of sitcoms. It was great. Yep. That was the lineup though. Big Bang, How I Met Your Mother, Two Broke Girls, and then there was one other I can't remember. Maybe it was Modern Family. Probably
Modern Family.
I don't think it was that. I can't remember.
Get you on that.
Yeah.
Modern Family is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I do think also the Barney, his commitment to being in costume.
Multiple costumes. I
really admire because I've also changed costume during a Halloween party. Not to get laid.
I was about to say, what was the motive?
I will say,
I thought it was really funny.
Barney walked so Dennis Reynolds could run. Sprint, maybe. Sprint on all fours.
Yes.
Which is our next one, but spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm just going to give Ted some shit as every episode. I think Ted deserves shit in addition to Barney. What's fun is Barney, it's obvious that he's a piece of shit, but with Ted, like, Ted doesn't know he's a piece of shit, and I don't know if the show necessarily knows Ted's a piece of shit, but, like, so. Ted is a piece of shit.
He is such a piece of shit.
And him just, like, being obsessed with this girl and, like, the whole episode calling her slutty. Like, the slutty pumpkin. This is the woman I will marry. I know her as slut.
She was dressed as a slutty pumpkin.
Just as a pumpkin.
Yeah, she
First of all,
I just assume isn't it the whole joke though? Is every woman's costume is actually just?
I mean, Lily's was very not slutty, but my whole thing with Ted, and I could do I need to find a podcast that just lets you shit on Ted and Robin.
Yes,
but they are the worst. Ted he's such a nice guy to the people he wants, and then a little piece of shit to everyone else.
Yes,
but I digress.
I need to say something about the slutty costumes. I have a story for you.
Let's hear it.
I hope the people of TikTok and the people of our podcast like. So when we were freshmen in college, that was like the big time that joke was big to be like, yeah, it's just I'm a slutty this, I'm a slutty cat. So a friend of ours,
a slutty Riddler.
A friend of ours, I won't name him. Yeah, you were your slutty Riddler. He was like, I gotta make fun of this trend. So he decided, and what was big at the time was ISIS. Like the terrorist group, ISIS.
No.
So he went as slutty ISIS, and he just had a crop top where he wrote ISIS. That? I'm not saying the name.
Wasn't?
No, I'm not telling.
No, wasn't he slutty Jesus at some point?
No, he just went as Jesus.
As Jesus.
He had a cross.
Not slutty Jesus. Hannah, get it right.
No, but a friend of mine, he just basically wore like a bandana, had a Nerf gun, a little like sword, and then ISIS written across his stomach.
After this is done, I need the name. I need the name and number and address of this man.
But either way, it was very funny, I thought. Kind of insane. And good social commentary on the whole slutty costumes thing. And then also...
an interesting pick.
Yeah.
Slutty ISIS.
Although I don't... Yeah, the commentary isn't as funny if you're not picking something completely
He told me a story that he went somewhere and someone actually just went as regular ISIS to the party. And everyone was like, dude, you gotta get out of here.
What the
And they kicked the guy out. But then him, they're like, that's funny, slutty ISIS. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know who went as actual ISIS.
That's dressed as a terrorist group for Halloween.
Sickos.
Well, so that's my story.
Love.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is relevant, still relevant. We love an excuse to wear a crop top.
We do. That should be our whole takeaway.
So, is there anything else we need to say about this one, or should we move on to the next sitcom?
I'll let you have your take that it doesn't have the right Halloween vibes, but individually, like I said, the characters, I like their storylines.
Well, and I will say, it was a good palate cleanser for what I would call the grimier, realer version of How I Met Your Mother in the next show we watched, which was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. We're talking about the episode Who Got Dee Pregnant, Season 6, Episode 7.
Yeah, and it is actually a Halloween episode, even though the title doesn't sound like it.
Yes.
It embodies Halloween big time.
So the plot of this episode is Dee freaks out at the gang when she announces she's pregnant, and one of the guys is the father. And so they enlist the help of Artemis and the McPoyles to recall their last Halloween party where Dee claims it happened.
And Jenna, you've never seen this episode before, and you haven't watched much of It's Always Sunny.
Nope.
So I will ask, did you enjoy it?
It was alarming towards the end. Didn't know incest type things would be featured, so spoiler alert. But yeah, I fucked with this episode. I liked it.
Yeah,
good.
It's
I'm glad.
So funny. And Matt, can you explain why this has the best Halloween vibes in your opinion?
Okay.
Or better Halloween vibes?
I will first say, it is kind of funny how you were saying that, like, yeah, Ted is an asshole. They're all assholes, but the show doesn't know it. The magic of It's Always Sunny is that they're horrible, but the show is very aware of it. This isn't like condoning, which I think How I Met Your Mother's like, yeah, these are good characters, and they're all pieces of shit. And it's like, these are all good characters, and we know that they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I like. The reason I find that this embodies Halloween so much is the very first thing that they talk about, which is the brownout. Which is like, if you haven't browned out on Halloween, like,
what kind of Halloween was it?
Exactly. Like the idea of them all meeting.
Haven't.
You haven't? Well, fine.
No.
Hannah, I'm so sorry.
That's what she says.
Maybe
but
year.
you should see her on every Halloween. When she's like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
but I am fine. I know. I remember what's happening.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I didn't brown out.
All
I'm
right.
just.
Well, fine. I'm just talking about getting.
I found out enough on Halloween for the both of us. Don't fret.
You.
But either way, I find that there's like a lot of chaotic energy going on. They have an actual fun party going on at Patty's Pub. Everyone's in like these stupid costumes. No one knows why they're in their costumes, and it just feels like you get the chaotic Halloween vibes that I want out of a Halloween party. And they do feel very like similar episodes. They have very similar things going on. I just think one really embodies that Halloween party spirit.
Yes, this one definitely has the party vibes. Like if I were to pick a party to be at, it's 100% this one.
Oh yeah, like, especially over How I Met Your Mother. Hello.
Everyone's acknowledging like we got to wear this costume because we got to talk to. We need to. Or what does Dennis say? We're going to disarm them with our funniness, or we need to look sexy, or we need to look this way, and everyone. Yeah, it kind of maybe shows like the insecurities people have a little bit if we're going to get kind of real with it, and like how they're trying to. You use Halloween to kind of mask that, right? Or let it out. Yeah, and I think that this like actually feels like Halloween to me. So.
Yeah, I do think Halloween is a fun way to either like further enhance and express who you are, or to be something you're not. And either way, that's cool.
Yeah,
like
Charlie's a vampire dressed as the
Phantom of the Opera.
Like,
Blah!
Oh my god. What a nightmare.
Just has no idea. It's just like, I gotta get a costume on. Puts that on. That
stupid sexy costume.
Oh my gosh.
I went as the Phantom of the Opera once, and Hannah went as Christine. You see the photo?
Yes.
So I made my Instagram caption that whole rant that Charlie does.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I hate to tell you guys, I've also never seen Phantom of the Opera. I'm so
Well, I wouldn't watch the movie. It's not on Broadway anymore, so you gotta wait like a decade.
Okay, that's fair.
So you're fine. Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
When it comes back eventually, it's gonna cost $1 billion.
No thanks.
Well,
it'll be worth it.
Well, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys pay for it. I'll be there.
Okay, so that's my thoughts, but I said a lot, so let you guys talk. What'd you think?
You talked over something I was going to say, and now I can't remember.
All right, Jenna, what'd you think?
I thought the episode was hilarious because let me tell you, one of my favorite things is piecing together a good Halloween brownout. And because is kind of what the episode touched on was like, you get confused with who's in what costume. So there has been multiple times where there's like duplicate costumes and I'll go up to one if it's like a mask thinking it's somebody else. Like that's actually back in college I did that. And that is how I got in trouble with my boyfriend because
you went up to the wrong.
Yes, because it was a fully masked thing. And I wasn't saying anything like bad, but I remember like flirting or whatever, and my boyfriend heard it and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, can you blame me? He was like, the heights are different. I was like, I'm blacked out pretty much, sir. What do you want from me? But yeah, so good times, but I love the chaos.
This episode spoke to you then?
Yeah, it really did. It touched on the souls.
You're right then. Like, you don't know who somebody is, so you just start referring to them by their costume name.
Like Slutty Pumpkin. Like, I'll be like, okay, there goes my Slutty Pumpkin. I love. And
it's all tied up in this insane episode of a mystery. And instead of doing like a murder mystery, it's the mystery of who got deep pregnant.
Oh, true.
Which is also, I do feel like a Halloween vibe. Like we just did like an escape room thing at home when we've done like a murder mystery party. And I do feel like that's Halloween vibes. So like this is, even the mystery is Halloween adjacent.
And I know I'm jumping to a different episode, but the Community episode where Shirley gets pregnant on Halloween.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so there seems to be a little trend there.
We covered that episode last year.
Oh, really? So, oh, look at that.
So good.
I was going to say, it's also funny to do the whole showing the story happen 6 different ways from every perspective. Yes. Yeah. That's like a, I don't know who did it first. A lot of people, I think it's an old samurai movie. I don't know if it's Seven Samurai, but it's the idea of showing things multiple perspectives until you finally get the right is like an old trope in movies, a very famous one. So for Sunny to do it for figuring out who Dee got pregnant makes me laugh a lot.
And then to have the sober characters at the end clearing it up.
Yeah, because everyone's seeing it from the perspective that like makes them look to be the best.
Yes, like Matt coming to the rescue.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts had to be Dee changing in every single one, either an angel or a bird, and eventually ends up as an ostrich. Like, what is happening? That is chaos for like a first-time viewer. I was very much so like, what's going on here? She's a bird.
Yeah. But like knowing the show, you know they just always call her a bird. So of course in their drunk memories, they've blacked out anything she's saying or doing. And she's just an ostrich. Whining bird.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the parents in the Peanuts, you know?
And like,
or Peanuts, whatever it's called.
Yeah. And like, of course she would want to trade costumes because she's trying to like be someone hotter that everyone is complimenting because she's like, fuck these people. They always just call me a bird and insult me. So I might as well look hot and really be a bird.
I could talk so much about Sunny because she's also so funny in this episode when she goes up to the lady. It's like, it's a win-win. I get your costume and I don't beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's like
so good.
Her delivery's so funny. And I know that they've long said she's the funniest person on the show, and I see it.
Also, not Halloween at all, but the Frank and Artemis storyline of banging in the dumpster.
Yeah, wait, how are we? That was despicable. What the fuck?
It's so
They don't
funny.
kink shame.
I'm sorry, but they're in a dumpster, and I'm still confused. What happened with the wad of dough or the
They
bread
don't
or something?
explain. They just say
She did
that
something
they
very
got
innovative with it.
innovative
Okay,
with the dough. But his delivery of it, where he doesn't explain it and then just is like, well, it was very, and then like it felt really good, and then like
I'm into it too.
I'm into. She's really into that kind of thing. Well, I'm into it too, and like doesn't actually tell the story, but just like does his own little ramble. Is so funny.
I love it.
So, overall, we're saying good Halloween episode. I don't know if it's as good as the McPoyle Wedding Massacre, whatever that episode's called, that we covered last year. But it's a good, better Halloween episode, not as good like spooky season episode. Does that make sense?
It's not as spooky.
Yes.
But I think it does equally well at capturing all of the characters and how they would treat a Halloween night or a spooky situation or whatever. I think the show knows its characters very well and therefore knows how to write for them. And I do think that sometimes certain shows, and we talked about this earlier off the mic, but like with How I Met Your Mother, with some of the characters, or with Community with Britta, like they don't always know how to write for them.
Yep.
Versus Always Sunny, it knows its characters, and even if they have shifted over time, they've always known how to like adapt or write for whatever that trait is.
It's a good show, and it's still a very good show. There's a reason it's still running.
Yeah, which is also crazy.
We need another Halloween episode, though.
Yeah,
It's
we
time.
really do. We haven't gotten one. We've only gotten 2.
Right to them.
That's crazy. Yeah, I
Right
should.
to them and say, excuse me, if you want to be featured on our podcast, you must do another Halloween episode. Sorry.
Well, they're
Let's get
invited.
Rob McElhenney on this podcast.
There you go.
And
Ryan Reynolds
Charlie.
is not invited.
And
He's an enemy of the show.
Are we boycotting?
yeah, we're boycotting Ryan Reynolds
No, he's
because
fine.
we think
He's going to ruin Rob.
we're worried he might ruin Rob with his
Their little soccer adventure.
little Hollywood shtick.
We'll film it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They bought a soccer team together.
And now they're
They're
like
like
Rob
best-
who?
Rob McElhaney. from
Mac.
Oh, like they actually did in real
Yeah.
life?
Him and Ryan Reynolds are like best buddies now.
What?
But
Like
it's
Ryan
so
Reynolds
funny.
is kind of lame and hasn't really ever made a good movie. So,
Well, yeah, he has the worst filmography ever.
and we're like, Rob, don't get tainted.
But it's funny because
We're being mean, but
yeah, it's funny because anytime in an interview where they're all together and Rob brings up Ryan Reynolds, Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis, will go from like laughing or smiling at whatever they were talking about. The second Ryan's name is brought up, instant frown. Like he shuts down.
he just like, he's a diva.
He is. I think he definitely wears his like emotions are hard on his sleeve, just like the character of Dennis. Like there's so much of their personalities written into their characters, just like made 1,000 times bigger. But like you can see it. Like he doesn't hide it very well. That clearly there's some beef there. And it's really funny. And I'm like, you know what? I trust that judgment, honestly.
You're like, is that
Dennis is a catty bitch.
And I'm a
love
catty
catty
bitch.
bitches.
So I get it.
We love catty bitches.
Okay, well, we've gushed about It's Always Sunny, so I think we can go into our third and final episode.
Horror Fiction in 7 Spooky Steps, the Community episode from Season 3, Episode 5.
And Community, we also covered last year in a fantastic Halloween episode being the...
Epidemiology.
yeah,
That's the
really good.
zombie episode.
Oh my gosh.
Which is such a good... I think I gave that as one of our top last year. Such a good Halloween episode. If you're going to like capture Halloween and also just like...
The show,
the
vibes
show,
of the show, the characters. Like it ties
in
everything
a zombie
in
movie.
so well.
And like tying in actual like horror tropes in a really fun way.
And it's
think
funny
good.
as fuck. Like they're not missing any of the elements.
So this one is very different though. And Hannah, give us the plot summary and then we'll talk.
Britta gives the rest of the study group personality tests and is disturbed to find that one anonymous person could be a homicidal maniac. She then tells a horror story about an escaped psychopath to gauge everyone's reactions. The rest of the group then share their own stories.
So this one basically is just similar to Sunny, how we had a bunch of different versions of a story, is that they all tell their own horror story and try to be like, well, no, that's not how it should be. And basically try to like give their ideal version of the story.
It infuses their personalities into the stories so well in such a comedic way. And all the stories, most of them aren't very good.
Not at all.
Annie's takes the cake.
Yeah. I think hers
takes
has,
the cake.
Yeah. I actually don't mind Troy and Abed's either. No, Troy. It's Troy.
It all gets inspiration from different styles of horror or horror writing, but all with their like flair on it or what they would like the most. But overall, do you like this episode?
I do like this episode.
And do you think it's a good Halloween episode, good representation?
I mean, I think it's a good representation of like when you're younger and you're sitting at a campfire and everyone's trying to tell a scary story, except like you're young and stupid and no one can actually tell a good scary story. I think that's what this is. And because, and like I said, like it has everyone's personality shining really well. So I like it. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be like, this represents Halloween, but it represents this like part of Halloween. Or spooky.
I think that's a good way to put it. The like sitting around all trying to come up with your story, but like you're not a writer.
Yeah, and trying to make it scary, and everyone else is like, you think you're on a roll, and everyone's like, no, not at all. Like poor Pierce's story, everyone's like, shut up, get out.
Wow.
No poor Pearson.
You're right.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
poor Pierce in this household.
We don't fuck with Pierce. You're right.
Yeah. During the episode, we are all like, boo, Pierce.
Yeah, the worst.
Racist.
Chevy Chase is the worst. I like his work. I'm sorry, but that's fine. I'm
not even going to admit that I even like his performance on this show because it's like he's so bad. He's not acting. That's the problem.
Oh, he's not actually.
Like that's the thing.
I will give him some credit for them to actually just be really mean to him outside of the show and basically like in the writing be mean to the person Chevy Chase and for him to just go along with it. I don't know if he's just dumb or that self-indulged, but like that's kind of funny.
Or needed a paycheck that bad.
I was about to say,
no way. You think
what has he done besides
I don't know if
Community in the last 2 decades?
I can't imagine he needs a paycheck.
Look at his Wikipedia. He hasn't done shit.
I know, but I just have a feeling. He was such a star for so long.
I know, but sometimes stars who are a star for so long spend all their money and then need to take whatever. Like Nicolas Cage admits, he just took a bunch of fucking random jobs forever and wasn't picky because he was bad
the fact that he's
money.
not working until that makes me think that he was doing fine. But we'll look it up. That's besides the point. I do agree. Jenna, did you like this episode?
I liked it, but the other one is very more Halloween-y, but like Hannah, you said it perfectly where this one was like campfire-y. So it kind of cracks me up that poor little Britta is always like their problem child, like no matter what. And so in every episode, she's the little problem child. So I'm not surprised that even her quote unquote horror story was the worst of the worst. And granted, she had another purpose, but like, Britta, she can't even do that well.
Yeah, she Brita'd it.
Like, it's just no.
And the way they, like, show how bad it is with her narration being the alert that they're getting through the radio. There's an escape killer and stuff, and he has, like, a thingy on his hand.
Oh, my God.
Like, I laughed out loud. That was so funny.
That's just very on par for her. But I have liked every Community episode, so my hat's off to them. But yeah, not the total spooky vibes that Halloween reminds me of.
Yeah.
So I want to inject some subtext into this one because I think I can pull something out of it for fun.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like they are all playing different audience members to a horror movie that are like, well, it should have been this way, or it should have been this. And it's like a classic viewer of something being like, well, I would have done it this way. And I want you to know that if you're out there saying that, and I know we do it too, you don't know shit, and clearly they didn't either, right? That's the whole point is like, they're like, well, no, it should be this way, and all of their versions suck. All of it. Like, nobody can actually... Like, I shouldn't say nobody can write anything, but like an audience member, just because you want it doesn't mean it will actually make a good movie.
Yes. It's not going to appeal to everyone. Like as we were watching these episodes, the difference we all had and like what stuck out to us, like Matt was raving about the Laid joke and I was over here like, Matt, that is the stupidest part of the episode. So like it really just shows like what you were saying is they have to find that like way to humor everyone. And you're right. I think Community was like, let's just spit it all out and see. Yeah.
But I'm even saying we don't need to humor. It's like the issue is when a creative is trying to cater to people. It's like, make what you want to make.
Well, and that's the thing that makes, I think,
all of these shows work.
But especially Sunny and Community, I would say, is that Sunny is just like, they're all horrible people, they're all obnoxious. I mean, they were literally like showing people fucking in it. Well, they're showing a dumpster shaking and sex sounds. Like, they don't care. They're doing their thing. They're being horrible. They're being hilarious. And then Community has the quirkiest vibes of any like major sitcom that has done well.
They're not trying to appease the masses. They're trying to make something they think is funny.
Yeah.
And I guess that's my whole point, though, is you're right. Like, make what you like, even when it's like bad. But as an audience member, you can't sit there like I would. I'm considering the Community members or the characters to be the audience in this situation.
Yeah, like all shitting
critiquing
on
everyone else's story
when
and
they couldn't
it.
do any better.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's all you audience, all you viewers out there. Just dream a little bigger. Think a little harder when you watch your movies.
What a point.
Ask why a director did something that didn't make sense. That movie had no point.
Like, what was their vision?
Jenna, ask why. Okay.
Okay,
you told me you wouldn't watch anything in black and white earlier. I'm calling you out.
Nope.
So
Why it's in black and white.
ask why.
Because they're bored. They don't want to produce color. I don't know, but it's not original.
Dream a little bigger.
I'll try, Matt. I'll try.
I'm afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
That's what I was. Yep. I'm just giving you shit. But Night of the Living Dead's really, really good, and I just watched it yesterday, and it's a 10 out of 10 movie. So it's in black and white. So
Community, and I'll say Always Sunny, but out of these episodes, Community always does a really good job of making like social commentaries. So where Britta is obviously like, you're not smarter than everyone, you're not a professional, so don't go armchair diagnosing. Like, that is the worst kind of person. You don't have your fucking degree, so shut up. But then they're also over here like, obviously Pierce is a piece of shit and a racist, so his story is racist.
Pierce isn't even a story. They were just like, the writers were like, you suck. Like, at Chevy Chase, they're like, you suck. Let's just write your story as making you look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But sorry, continue.
And then Shirley's being so like holier than thou, trying to force her Christianity on other people.
Yeah.
That is a pretty poignant commentary on this society as well.
And also complete misunderstanding of what the slasher genre originally was trying to do.
Yes.
But half the slasher films also have misunderstood that since Halloween. So, like, Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, calls him out.
I hate that movie.
We talk shit on that movie so often.
I love that.
It's deserved. It's so boring.
Continue. I'm throwing in color commentary here. Tell me about the other characters.
That was my last,
there's your last
major
one.
example.
What about Abed and Troy? They just want to have their fun little monster movie.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say, like, well, and I think Abed, like, he knows at its core, like, what makes for good storytelling, but it doesn't mean he can do it.
He goes into the CinemaSins territory, where he's like, we got to go fully logic because the audience will respect the logic, but then that proves that logic sucks too in these, because then you just take all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
like you need that right blend. There needs to be a little bit of dumb decision making because we're not all that smart, but then it needs to, he is right. You have to have enough that we relate, but not so much that you make the movie dumb.
For him to be such a creative, but then that be the story he told, that was hilarious. But I also think one of the things that makes like Always Sunny and then Community so popular is the vulgarity of it continuously. Like How I Met Your Mother, like you said, they try to act innocent with some characters, whereas this, they just like say things that people are thinking and stuff, but don't say aloud. And I think that's just what gets people to connect so much.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. How Much Mother I think it's a product of its time, because like looking back, it's so sterile. Other than like Barney. And even Barney, like when you think about like the weird stuff he's doing, is still completely sterile compared to half these other shows.
Yeah.
Well, also just like thinking about real people, and it's like no one owns that they're a piece of shit like that. People are a secret piece of shit where they're doing horrible things to women. At least he's out here admitting, like, I just want to bang and that's it.
So true.
Like, he's a piece of shit, but compared to Steven from Love is Blind season 7, a real person, like...
Well, I was going to say, I think it's even more realistic in Sunny, where they're all pieces of shit, but they don't understand that they're pieces of shit or why, which is actually real life. Yeah. I think most evil people are the main characters of their own story, right? They think they're the good guy because they can't comprehend doing anything that isn't good because they're the main character. And that's Sunny. And maybe that is why we relate so much.
Yeah.
Or why we enjoy it so much, because I don't think I relate necessarily
but I'm
on
saying
a personal level.
You're
But
human.
I'm a human. And also, like, I think those are things that we see. Mm-hmm. And I think when it is so big and bold, it's makes for pretty clear commentary. Like, it is clear that is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently some people need that.
Yeah.
Sure do.
Yeah, no, we're in a piss poor time for literacy on whether making a movie is actually endorsing actions or not. Half the time, if you make your protagonist do something bad, people on Twitter will be like, they'll be upset about it.
But you know what's weird is with this generation specifically and like Gen Zs, I feel like it's now the norm to side with villains. Like, we're all kind of like the shittier person or whatever we are drawn towards. Is that just my opinion?
From what I'm seeing, that I'm seeing the opposite.
I would say,
I'm not talking for me. I'm talking about like reaction. Sorry.
In a romance novel, it's always the bad boy.
True.
I'm more talking about, though, if you have a protagonist who isn't morally good.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know how to process it.
People are like, but he protagonist, so he can't do bad. If he does bad, then that means the filmmaker thinks that bad is good. Yeah. That's the way I'm putting it. Looking at something like Licorice Pizza, which we've talked about before, where there is a relationship between a 25-year-old woman and a 15-year-old boy, and they're both main characters, and it's played not in a negative light. And people got really upset with the director.
But I think it's pretty fucking clear
that it's not.
That's inappropriate.
It's very much supposed to feel like you're supposed to question. You're supposed to you're supposed to think about it. And be like, what does this actually mean? Like, is this okay? Is it not? But like, that's part of the process. Yeah. And I don't think people understand how to actually interact with movies and like think about them beyond 2 feet in front of their own face.
Yeah, I think it's difficult sometimes to identify when you can't agree with everything that the quote unquote good person is doing. But that also reminds me, talking about like a younger boy and then a older woman, I think it was on Hulu, The Teacher, I think it was called. Have either of you seen that?
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay, you try to resonate with the teacher, who is this woman who is like preying on one of her students.
Oh shit. Oh, so she's actually like a bad guy though?
Yes, okay. But it makes, because he comes on to her and stuff, you start to feel bad because this woman is like losing her job, being exiled pretty much, rightfully so. But as you're watching, you're like, oh, but I could see how this could happen. Yeah.
And people have trouble like comprehending that it's like, the movie that is trying to make you feel that way. That is its intent. Yeah. Not like it's inherently bad or evil.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. You make good points. So that's why we made this. We want to talk about movies and make people actually like
nuanced way.
Critically engage with things and have some nuance.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that whole Licorice Pizza discussion that got me mad and have to talk about all this stuff. Not with Hannah. It was with someone that Hannah was friends with on Twitter.
Oh my God.
That was basically calling the director a pedophile. And I was like, you are so dumb. I was like, that's not...
And you came to their defense, the director's defense.
Yes, 100%. Well, I like the movie also.
Loyal.
I didn't like the movie, but I agree with Matt's point on the movie.
I will say one more thing about that. Part of it is that it's like an idealized version of what this boy is like looking for. So he is like, in his mind, he's like, hell yeah, I want to like be with this older woman. But in reality, it's like, probably not okay. But like from his perspective, he's seeing this as like a great... is like a good thing. Yeah. And it never, the movie doesn't give you a concrete answer on it. And it's also about a lot more than just that. That's just kind of a through line on it.
I gotcha.
Why you rolling your eyes, Hannah?
Because I just like don't like the movie. It's out of the movies I've seen by
PTA.
It's my least favorite.
What's your favorite? We've seen 2.
No, I've seen more than 2.
Which ones? You've seen There Will Be Blood, and you've seen Licorice Pizza.
No.
You've seen Boogie Nights?
I've seen Boogie Nights.
Half of Boogie Nights. You never finished it?
No, I finished it.
You've never finished it? She's lying.
Wait a minute. So 2.5.
You've never seen The Master? You've never seen Phantom Thread?
I've watched part of The Master with you.
Part of a movie doesn't count?
No, I know, but I wasn't engaged.
I can't believe we're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson on our Halloween episode.
Oh my God. You brought it up.
I know, but I thought it was a good point.
Essentially,
Jen engaged with me.
I got you.
Essentially, we just need to have nuance because not everything is black and white. And if you're just reading everything as black and white, you're missing the point.
And if you're trying
like,
to...
You're not... People aren't black and white. People aren't like, well...
And directors
people,
are not...
human.
Yeah.
That's like
the directors aren't black and white either. They're not trying to give you a concrete message sometimes. Sometimes they're just trying to make you think.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not always morality.
That's my brother has called me a stupid liberal, which is interesting. But then,
oh my God.
But then I'm like, he'll be like, well, you voted for Joe Biden and he sucks. But then it's like, just because I voted doesn't mean I agree with 100% of the things he's done or said or his policies. I can be critical, but also have more beliefs that side with him, so that's what I'm going to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know where you were going with this at first, but you make a really good point that our lack of media literacy like kind of coincides with our lack of like political literacy as well. Mm-hmm. It's like they kind of... English teachers, you get your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
Like they actually really do kind of like line up in this idea of like just 100% agreeing with everything. That wow. No, everyone knows what I'm saying out there. That's crazy to think about.
Matt's brain exploded.
No, I haven't.
He can't talk.
Well, I've had such an issue with people not understanding how to engage with art, and I'm realizing how important the arts are because of how like engaging with arts and critically thinking about arts are how we actually are able to critically think about other things in the world. And I'm very glad that I learned those skills. Yeah. Because I know ChatGPT's out there making it really hard for kids.
That's why school's important. Even if it's a subject you're not necessarily going to go into, you learn skills that are going to be applicable to other parts of your life, like critical thinking.
I'm realizing how important English class was.
Oh my God. He's like, I wish everyone could see him right now.
I know.
He's like having a brain loss and also like a crisis over not appreciating
I've thought about
English
it before, but it's funny to think like how almost all of your critical thinking skills are probably going to be developed by an English teacher. In terms of like real like life, not doing math and nouns, but like I'm an engineer. But
also then the challenging. That's why I could never be a teacher English, let alone, but like, because the thought of being challenged on something that you're so passionate about, let's say, is like very scary. Because you guys know me, I can't keep my cool. I'll be like,
but that's also like English class is about challenging.
Exactly. That's why I couldn't do it. That's why I couldn't do it.
That's about challenging ideas. And
yikes.
Whoa. Shout out to English teachers out there.
Yeah, go you guys.
Like actually.
Special shout out, Mr. Jens.
Hell yeah. You shouted him out before.
Yeah, because I think he's my teacher that made my brain work the best.
Multiple shout outs.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. Have I shared the story?
I don't know. You can share it again.
Yeah. That same year, this is like not really relevant, but the same teacher, my friend and I exchanged papers to like peer review them. Not required. We were just being nice to each other. Yeah. And you had to submit your paper via email. So when she emailed hers to the teacher, when he gets that document, he ends up grading mine first, reviews mine, gives me good grade, whatever. And he gets to hers way later. And she gets an email back that's like, Jackie, due to the fact that this is Hannah's paper and the inappropriate nature of the material, it will be a 0 until I receive your accurate submission. In my draft, the book was Mrs. Dalloway. I had labeled my draft, Mrs. Dalloway Sucks Ass.
Oh my god.
And that is what she submitted, is my original draft titled Mrs. Dalloway Sucks Ass. And she must have, when she saved it as, it was like the name of my paper, and she accidentally clicked on the wrong one.
Wait, but did she... Okay, but she did actually write her paper. She wasn't trying to cheat off.
Yeah, and then she later actually submitted that.
Okay, this is your BFF, Jackie?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, for you.
She also had this teacher definitely thought she was dumb because she had a repeated history of fucking up emails she sent him.
Oh, poor Jackie.
One time she went to ask him a question or submit something, and she wrote, "Hey, Mr. Jens, comma," and then sent
Honey.
So, and that had happened first.
Airing Jackie out, who's also going to be in an episode like next week.
Yes. So, we love her, but
we are
she's
very off topic now. So
okay.
I think we should wrap it up.
That's okay.
Give me the cutoff sign and play the music.
It was the spookiest thing that could happen in a class when you try and submit.
Good wrap
literally
around,
the scariest thing that could happen ever.
She brought it home, kids.
It's October 14th, so we got plenty of spooky days left and plenty of Halloween movies and sitcom episodes to watch.
There you go.
What are we watching? Actually, I should ask, what Halloween movie are you going to watch before...
Hocus Pocus. Halloween Town.
And what about you, Hannah?
Also Halloween Town, maybe Twitches.
You already watched Halloween Town.
We didn't well, that was also with Jenna. We didn't watch it.
All right.
We need to watch
that was
it.
background music.
I watched Night of the Living Dead, as I said, and it was great. I don't know what else I'm going to watch. Maybe I will watch A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
that's always a big one for you.
we always watch that.
I'm
being Freddy for Halloween.
I started watching Hellraiser. Maybe I should watch that. I don't know what else. Night of the Living Dead is going to be hard to top, to be honest, for my spooky season watch. And Hannah and I are playing Until Dawn. Which is a PS4 game from 2015 that just got a remake. So if you want us to cover that, let us know. Because Hannah's loving it.
We also asked our followers what are their favorite Halloween sitcom apps. Super Scary Podcast said they loved the Roseanne Halloween episodes growing up. Is It Horror Pod said, if animated sitcoms count, then 100% The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Yes, The Simpsons. Great pick.
We had also asked our followers what is the best movie set on Halloween. We got the answers Twitches, Halloween Town.
Okay.
Did You Get That on Film said Idle Hands.
Never heard of that.
Paranormal in Pennsylvania said Hocus Pocus. And Red Treehouse said Late Night with the Devil.
I forgot that was on. Mm-hmm. And no one said Halloween?
Well, I said besides Halloween
in
my
besides
post,
Halloween? Okay.
I didn't want everyone to say that.
I don't know if this is allowed, but can we request that they submit non-scary Halloween movies, all the feel-good ones, if possible?
Well, that had a lot of those.
Yeah, but I want more.
Hocus Pocus, Twitches.
Some I haven't heard of.
Have you watched My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire? That's a Disney original. I love that one. It's so goofy.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, it's on Disney
Monster House, that doesn't take place on Halloween.
Never even heard of it.
Monster House is animated. It's really ugly looking, but kind of good.
It kind of scared me when I was little.
It's kind of ugly looking on purpose. If that makes sense.
Good endorsement there, Matt. Thank you.
It's okay.
Okay.
Any of the Burton movies you could watch. I've said before,
scary.
I'm not a Burton fan, but
Yeah, remember, I'm a puss.
Okay, fine. You can watch The Corpse Bride or something.
I don't like the animation style. It's scary.
You don't like claymation?
Wait, is he the one with the creepy little...
Yeah.
What?
No.
I know what she's going to say. No, I know what she's going to say.
What I was going to say.
Okay.
The vibe is sinister looking.
Yeah, she knows exactly. I will have Nightmare on Nightmare.
Okay.
Literally, the first movie that I cried from fear was Coraline. So, E.T. when I was little, but...
Yeah, E.T. was spooky.
Yeah.
Hannah still hasn't watched it.
I haven't watched it since I was 4.
It's so good.
No, it's terrifying.
It's actually it makes me cry every time I watch it.
Matthew.
It's so good. It's very emotional.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not with you.
You guys are wrong.
I cry from scare, not from emotion.
Oh, we have to watch Alien because Hannah's never seen Alien, so maybe that'll be our spooky time.
Alien.
You watched half of it?
Yeah, and I was liking it because it's not, I don't know, modern day alien stuff really scares the shit out of me. The Fourth Kind.
Yeah,
the Fourth Kind?
I think I would die.
With Mila Jovovich?
Ain't no way.
Yeah. Alien
Which is not even considered a good movie.
A lot of people have commented on our TikTok we had a TikTok that blew the fuck up about the scariest movies.
And they said The Fourth Kind.
A couple people were surprised The Fourth Kind isn't here because that shit scared the shit out of me. Have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
Well,
I've seen Close Encounters.
Didn't you just say that watching part of the movie doesn't count?
I also, can I say, I get kind of annoyed that it's called The Fourth Kind because The Fourth Kind doesn't exist. There was a set thing of encounters, Close Encounters, and there was first, second, and third, and then there's a movie that Spielberg directed called Close Encounters, and subtitled The Third Kind. There's no Fourth Kind, and then they just make a movie called The Fourth Kind that has nothing to do with Close Encounters.
Yeah,
Like,
but
what's
it's
up with
a
that?
funny name after
The
other
fourth
three
kind is not a real
encounters.
designation for UFOs, though.
I know, but it's
That's what
funny because
it's
we
made
all
up.
know the third kind. We've all heard that, so it's funny.
2 thumbs down from
Except scary funny. Like the trailers made me pee my pants.
me. The trailers were scary. The owls were scary.
You know what? One of my favorite things is just being here is you guys mesh so well. You have completely different opinions on a lot, but that's what makes everything work. Like,
we actually have a lot of very similar opinions on movies. I would
really?
Say. Yeah, a lot of
okay.
the time. There's just like funny stuff that we're gonna argue about.
And when we argue about it, we argue about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually it's like from a place of spirited debate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love hearing the difference.
But also neither of us have seen the fourth kind, so we're arguing over
Yeah,
bullshit.
over something you
We
guys
haven't
don't
We haven't
know.
seen.
Bravo.
Isn't that what
Watch Close
podcasting is all
Encounters
about?
first, please. That's my whole point. Not even a horror movie. It's fun. It's a fun little alien romp.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm done here. So, you guys got anything else to say?
Nope, he's done here. I'm Hannah.
Jenna, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Please come back on. We're going to make you watch something actually scary, though.
We'll see.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you can find podcasts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannahs on TikTok and Instagram for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!